Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network hot take. You're probably asking, Gooch, what the hell's a hot take? Well, a hot take is where we get in the basement, give our thoughts, give our opinions on a game, a movie, or TV show. Today, it's going to be a movie, and that movie is Captain Marvel. Co-host, as always, Chris Trio.
What's going on, guys?
Back in the sack.
You know, man, we're
Not
back.
that you missed anything.
No, not really. I was usually here for most of the times that I wasn't on the thing anyway,
So for once, especially with Marvel
For sure.
comic book movies, we did not see it together.
Yeah.
So we actually don't know what each other really thinks.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have some blanket statements, but yeah, for the most part, we don't really know what's going on. We'll go non-spoilery to start. Just general opinions,
I think we can probably gloss over like
most of it. Yeah.
Except,
Of course, when we get to
we won't get into spoilers right away. We'll
give you a clear indication.
Yeah, we'll let you know we're getting into spoilers. But what'd you think?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it has its issues, like any of some of these Marvel movies do. But like for the most part, I thought it accomplished what it needed to accomplish. I thought it set up Carol Danvers in a really cool way. I liked Brie Larson as Carol.
I did too.
Overall, enjoyed it. What about you?
It was good.
I agree.
It wasn't bad, and it wasn't great.
No, it
was
good.
Good.
Yeah.
And like I really want to I thought about it a lot over the weekend, and that's what I'm selling on. It's not bad. It's not great. It's good. It feels like a Phase 1 Marvel movie in a way, but
Sure.
not really. I guess in matter of the fact that it's an origin story. But then, like, if you think back to, like, Ant-Man, I don't think Ant-Man feels like a Phase 1 movie at all.
I agree. It does. It feels like this heist movie.
For some reason, this movie just feels Phase 1-esque. It's not a bad thing. It's just, like, the vibe I'm getting from it.
Totally agree.
I have some gripes that really kind of bug me the more I think about them. Some things I really dug. Some things I really didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the movie.
I think I know what one of those are. But I'm curious
you
when we
definitely
get to it.
do.
Yeah.
But yeah. So one thing I don't want to jump into the spoilers.
Now here, all right. Let's start on the characters. Overall, Brie, you liked as Carol Danvers. Did you like Carol Danvers?
Yeah.
Did you?
Well, we don't really get Carol Danvers.
I agree.
We really
don't
don't know who. True, but like, we don't really know who Captain Marvel is.
I agree.
And when I say that, I mean like the movie doesn't really revolve around her character like progressing. It's just like it's a very stereotypical amnesia trope. Oh, I don't remember who I am.
Yeah.
Which we knew that from the trailers.
Yep.
By the way, which were shitty. Looking back, even before. So, real quick, I guess before we jump in, one thing I wanted to mention was, before this movie came out, I was really hype about it.
Yeah.
Really hype. Captain Marvel's one of my favorite, like, Marvel characters. Once the trailers kind of all came out, my hype went down to an average.
Yeah.
The trailers just didn't look good. I know one thing that a lot of people bitch about was Brie Larson being monotone, which isn't in the movie at all, but the trailers, she just seems really
I think it
monotone.
is. Well,
I'm not sure why.
I thought that was. It's funny. That was like like the no smiling thing. I mean, if you
But,
look back at like
the movie isn't like that at all. It's so
I
weird.
think there are some parts, but they did show you the more parts where she's kind of she does act alienish in a way in some ways, but her humanness. I think there's a mix of it, like where she's with the Kree, and the Kree are supposed to be very emotionless, very you're focused on the mission. She still had that humanity in her that she'd make jokes with the Anrag and all that stuff. I do agree with you though that they didn't really sell that the same way in the movie as I expected.
Yeah,
in the trailer.
and then so that's how I went into the movie with a very average expectation, and I got what I went in thinking I was going to get.
Yeah.
Back to my point. Yeah, I think Brie Larson does a great job as Captain Marvel. Great casting.
Yeah.
I just think the writing for necessarily her story really isn't like the greatest. I don't know, like nothing really happens to her character other than the fact that she like remembers her past,
what she
and like that's really it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of character growth, but I agree. Whereas like it really is kind of that thing of she remembers her, and she doesn't even really remember her life by the end. She gets told about it.
True, yeah.
But she doesn't she has these kind of flood of memories that she sort of pieces together. But she's only on Earth for so long, and then obviously we know that she's gone for how many years? 20
6.
years? Well,
6.
I'm sorry. I mean after the movie, like in the current like. So it's interesting. I agree. I thought it was a different type of development, and that's why I would say this is a little bit different from like
your origin movie. The way the movie is
phase
just
one.
like the way it's laid out is very different. It's not like Act 1, 2, 3. Honestly, I didn't feel like there were any acts at all. I kind of felt like it was just one big thing. Not that that's a bad thing.
No.
I just felt like the structure of this movie is very different. Mind you, the directors are like, this is their first big movie they've ever done.
Yeah.
And I feel like that shows.
A little bit, yeah.
I forget their names off the top of my head.
I can't remember either.
But I think they're like a couple.
I think it might be, yeah.
And they've literally done indie movies before this
yeah,
and nothing else. And I think that shows.
Yeah,
it's very apparent that like they have not that it's bad.
No, that makes sense.
They just haven't filmed a fucking multi-million-dollar movie before.
It's fun. I get what you're saying. I know. I don't necessarily think I felt that. I just felt like it was more of your like, what's the word I'm looking for? You're not stereotypical Marvel movie, but you're kind of boilerplate. You're getting all this stuff. Cookie cutter. Thank you. That's the thing I'm looking for.
That's the Marvel way.
And there are some of these movies. Yeah, you see that shine through in some of these movies, and I think this one was one that I sort of felt that they felt they needed to do before this one. And I don't know. Maybe it would have been better to see Captain Marvel come in Endgame and then get your fill in afterwards, because that's not something they've done before. But obviously, I don't know. That might not have worked. It is interesting, and even like I will say, I really like Carol. I really like Nick in this. Nick, dude, that de-aging. What are they? It's so good. Like, I don't even. No.
Yeah, it looks fine.
I mean, I think it's amazing. I forgot halfway through the movie
and
that
Coulson
he was de-aged.
Clark Gregg looks pretty young in general, and I don't think they really.
No, they de-aged him.
Yeah, I know they did, but like he looks like.
He looks
pretty young, like when you just look at him.
I thought there was one scene where it was kind of noticeable on him, but I can't remember.
Let's talk about Nick Fury and Coulson. So they're kind of like batched together.
Sure.
Nick Fury is a totally different character in this movie. He's not the Nick Fury we know. And I think this movie, one thing, I think if you've never seen a Marvel movie before or you're skipping around, if you go to see this movie, you might be a little confused. This movie really sets the impression that, hey, you know who Nick Fury is. Hey, you know who Coulson is.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to explain these characters in any regard whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this movie does. It takes your like preconceived notion that you do know who Coulson and Fury are. Fury's just a lot more like not hardened.
Well, and you do got to remember this is a 20 years younger.
No,
Fury.
and I get it, and that's fine. But like, it's like night and day.
I don't think it's that bad. I find it to be he is the Nick Fury, just younger and a little bit more green, and just doesn't know about this stuff. And you can tell he's like he knows he needs to protect. Like,
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Oh no. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that's how I read it. I think it works because it is a 20 years younger Nick Fury, and yeah, we do know the battle-hardened Nick Fury, but it's kind of interesting to see what ticked that off, because I think this almost kind of shifts him in. It obviously shifts him in that fashion of like we need some type of defense against these types of things, because he didn't even. I mean, sure, during World War II they had the Tesseract and all that, but did they know that was like an alien device during the 40s and stuff like that, or anything like that?
I think they did, yeah.
Did they? I thought they knew it was just some type of powerful.
No, I think they knew it was from like not.
I thought because they were saying like Norse myth. I just assumed because
I think they knew. I don't think they like fully like thought into it.
But I thought it was interesting to see Nick go from that to that. So,
and then what?
No, we'll talk about that near the end.
No, yeah, let's talk about it at the end, please. And Coulson, I feel like it's just Coulson. I would have liked to see more scenes of him personally. I feel like, you know, he likes Nick Fury and he trusts him, and there's one scene where like in the stairwell where they're escaping the Project Pegasus and stuff, and he like lets him go, and like you kind of get that like Coulson's like his right hand man even from then. I thought it would have been cool to see more scenes with him. He doesn't.
That's fair.
Really
I think that might have actually helped what you're saying too. I agree. Interesting.
And then there's well, before we get to the Skrulls, it's
Jan-Rog and the Kree.
I think I think they're the last two characters that are really like huge. And then maybe we can talk about even like Marie and Monica Rambeau.
So I was gonna. Is that her friends on Earth? I can't remember her.
Marie Rambeau and Monica is the daughter.
That was the one I couldn't remember her. Like she wasn't a very standout character for me.
So
back to the Kree.
And then we'll talk about Lawson as we get, because it's like kind of spoiler.
Definitely.
Jan-Rog is all right. I don't know.
I thought.
Sure.
I mean,
I'm not gonna think too much into the character. It's kind of just is what it is.
He did what he needed to do, and I mean, I love Jude Law So I just think the writing for him was very stagnant.
Star Force was kind of weak in the sense where, I mean, we get Korvath from Guardians. He's there. He doesn't really... I mean, he has actually, like, a decent role, more than Ronan.
Yeah.
And I guess, you know, they don't really delve too much into him. Not that we knew about him much in Guardians.
Yeah.
Ronan, I was very disappointed that we didn't get more of him either. We kind of figure out why he's called the Accuser, because those ships are called the Accuser, like fleet,
the Accuser
and
fleet,
and they come in and they bomb planets and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like he didn't, like, he was just like, oh hey, I'm Ronan, I'm an Accuser, bye, and like that I don't know. I was looking for something more.
I guess I just don't. I get that. I don't really care about the character, so I just didn't really give a fuck.
Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, I thought it was enough that they went like, oh yeah, he was a fanatic from the start. He's bombarding planets or whatever. See, I thought that worked fine.
I was kind of looking for a scene with like him alone and maybe him like I don't know, like alluding to something like, you know, what happens in Guardians, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think that would have been a little bit on the, as we say here, on the nose. Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more there. I thought overall, the whole team was a little bit forgettable. I do think Jude Law was the most memorable out of all of them. Not to say that he's even that memorable. I did kind of like his mentor role at first. It was a little bit confusing, especially when we get to the end. But yeah, not sticking out in my mind in any crazy shape or fashion.
So the plot kind of revolves around, we find out, a Dr. Lawson who we find out was Carol Danvers' kind of, I guess, like, I'll use mentor.
Yeah.
In a manner of speaking. Not really, sort of. We'll go with it.
No, I think that's... No, I think that's
to her and Maria Rambeau, who is a comic book character who is actually name swapped with Monica Rambeau. So Maria Rambeau is a character in the comics and is Monica Rambeau's mother. That's canon. But in the comics, Monica Rambeau is...
Carol's friend?
Yes.
Okay, so her daughter is...
She, in the comics, actually is the first Captain Marvel. So when they needed to get the copyrights to the title Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers was still Miss Marvel.
Oh yeah, I know.
Monica Rambeau was Captain Marvel, just so they could say they used the name and copyright
Interesting.
it. And then they retconned it.
That's funny.
But Monica Rambeau is Photon. That's her vigilante name. I think she has powers.
Okay.
And honestly, I think they're going to use that. You know how we've been talking about Stature and Cassie Lang, Ant-Man's daughter, being like a new Avenger or like a future scene. I feel like we could also see her in some point, because I guess where Endgame is, she would be like our age or like in her 20s.
Like
at this point.
They cast an older girl to play her in Endgame. I'm pretty sure that was like a while back I saw it, but yeah, she'd be around that.
Yeah,
age.
So I think we might see her, but I think that's cool.
No, totally. She set up these little threads, and there are like, so I'm trying to think of any other character-wise that we're missing before I go into like action scenes and stuff.
I mean, we're gonna talk about the Skrulls, Ben Mendelsohn's
Oh yeah, no, that's a
character.
good. Yeah, thank you.
But
Monica.
No. Lawson and Ben Mendelsohn's character, who I don't remember his name. They're kind of like spoiler.
Talon. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Talon.
I loved him.
So yeah, let's talk about the Skrull Kree War.
So we're getting. I don't want to dance around it because we might say stuff by accident. This will probably get a tiny bit spoilery. So just be aware.
Yeah, spoilers from here on out. Yeah, it's kind of hard to dance around it.
I agree. So I saw the twist coming.
Really?
100%.
I didn't see it coming.
See, that's why I didn't like the trailers, because they gave. I felt like it was giving it even just the way Jan Rog was talking to her was that classic, like, you got to be better. Like, okay, well, you're obviously the bad guy.
So you saw that the Skrulls were not
going to
be
the
bad
good
guys.
Yeah, because
okay, I didn't see that at all.
Also, because if they made them the bad guys,
I liked that twist.
No, I thought it was a good one, and I think they really saved themselves some issues, because if they did make them the full-on bad guys, you have to start going back 20 years and like, okay, who's a Skrull for these past
invasion.
For these past 20 years? Like, has Iron Man or someone been a Skrull for the past? No, we don't even have to deal with that. They're the good guys.
Which was a big, like, I guess, talking point that, like, okay, like, we're introducing Skrulls now. Like, are we gonna get Secret Invasion?
Yeah,
like,
and there's
some huge, storyline in Marvel.
And I thought that could really kind of muddy up.
I think
waters.
It can still happen.
No, I think so too. But I think the way that they handled that was good. I liked Mendelsohn's character a lot. I don't know what it was. With the cat.
He was pretty good.
No, he was. When the one line where he's like, hey, what, are you afraid of a cat? He's like, what's a cat? And because he's like, I don't know why. It was so good. I thought it was just a nice twist, and I agree. I
mean, if you have the comic book knowledge, you know that both the Kree and Skrull are bad.
Yeah.
Which one is more evil? I probably would say the Skrulls.
In the comics, I really don't know much
They're
about
both
the stuff.
pretty evil. Like,
and so I should say another thing that kind of pointed me to that swap was that the Kree have already been presented in the other movies as like just pieces of shit from like Guardians and stuff like that. Like they're letting Ronan go out there and just like bullshit around, and then they're like, well, we signed the peace treaty, fuck off. So I don't know, I kind of felt like they would be the bad guys. Why are some of them blue? And why
there are different colored Krees.
Okay,
yes.
all right. So I guess that's just racist in the. Okay,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, there are blue-skinned Kree, which are like your stereotypicals, and then they're like. So
Jan-Rog's like he has the eyes, right, or something? Doesn't he have different eyes?
He's like his skin tone is almost like pink.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you noticed that. Like there are pink aliens we've seen like in Guardians.
Yeah.
And there are different colored skinned Kree.
Yeah.
Like that is a fact. Like, but like I don't really know that.
Interesting. I just didn't know because I was curious.
The biology of the Kree.
Damn you! Brush up on your Kree knowledge. Yeah, I thought that was a really good twist. Mando was great as the character. How'd you feel about the makeup? I'm just curious.
I think it was fine. To a degree, I don't know.
I actually think there was. Yeah, I hear. Well, I think that's actually a good thing.
I think
you didn't think it was bad.
The little Skrulls look the best.
Well, and they were, I think, mostly CGI, which was interesting. I think there was a little bit too much going on, maybe, like with it.
What do you mean?
But like just too many different colors and No, I actually thought the prosthetics looked good, but I just felt it was too busy of a design, if that makes any sense. Like there was too many like lines and shit going on on their face.
Because when we first saw it, it was like, oh, that's not like the typical Kree look.
Yeah, they're much more like just totally
I just
green.
combined Skrull and Kree.
The Skrull. How'd you feel about the effect of them changing? Did you not really notice it?
We only see it like twice, right?
Yeah. It looked a little odd to me. That's just
okay.
I
didn't really take note.
Well, then that's interesting. So, anything else on the Skrulls? I'm trying to think. Did you like that twist? What about with? Then we keep getting into even more spots.
Talk about Project Pegasus and Lawson.
Yeah.
So, one of the big focal points of this movie is Project Pegasus, which was referenced in Iron Man 3 when Tony Stark says to Jarvis, he's like, hey, Jarvis, I need Project Goliath through Pegasus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we know what Project Goliath is from Ant-Man and the Wasp, which was the Goliath persona for whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne
in
that movie. And then Project Pegasus, I guess, is like the adaptation of the Tesseract, whatever.
Yeah,
we're in spoilers. The Tesseract into like an FTL drive.
Yeah.
A faster than light drive.
Which Lawson, who was actually, we find out, was Marvel.
Did not see that coming at all.
I think that was a good way. It was funny. I was like, why'd they gender swap her? But then I was like, oh, that was a good way to throw me off the trail of she would be Marvel. I thought that was good. I thought that was interesting. And
I thought that was really cool.
I
was like, oh, fuck. I was like, Marvel? I was like, damn. I didn't see that coming.
No, it was good. I really liked that. And it was the Supreme Intelligence. I forgot. We did forget her or him, whatever, it. What did you think? Did you think it was? I thought it was very kind of.
I mean, the Supreme Intelligence
generic.
Controls the Kree, and I don't know. Like it's like it's evil, but like I don't know. You don't
get why. Yeah,
but I don't think you need to.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
The Supreme Intelligence of the Kree.
It's just doing what. Yeah.
It controls the Kree hive mind. Like I think like that's what it's supposed to be, and
that makes sense.
Not supposed to look too far into it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I thought that was a really cool switch. You basically find out that Carol. I actually did call a bit of this in my Captain Marvel, A Brief History of article, with Jan-Rog. And so was she, because he says she has my blood at one point, Jan-Rog. So did he get fused with her then? So that's why she's half Kree? I thought it was Marvel who would have gotten fused with her, but that's what confused me. Did you catch that part?
Yeah. I guess when they found her...
Because once she's blown up, she has the Kree blood.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So I guess they just infused her with Kree blood, so the story that she's a Kree makes sense.
See, but
she also has the power of the Tesseract inside her. Isn't it funny that she gets her power from the Tesseract?
Yeah, no, that was interesting. It's funny. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I really never even expected that. That was another cool twist. Yeah, I think it was just to sell the story.
See, but I don't think... But she already... The explosion was what fused her. It wasn't that they did it after. Okay, yeah. No. So I guess that they were in the same blast radius. Because in the comics, she gets blown up by something. It's called like the Magnetron or something.
Psyche-Magnetron.
Yeah, and it caused her to go in a coma. But then you find out later that she was actually fused with Mar-Vell. So I didn't know if it was that she got fused with Mar-Vell or.
I thought it was good that they chose to not do the Green Lantern origin for Captain Marvel, because it is very Green Lantern-esque. It's a passing down of powers, like Mar-Vell dies
for sure,
and Carol absorbs her, just like
Howlin, what's his name? Wow, I can't remember the original Lantern's name. I feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah, I know.
God damn it. It's gonna come back to me after the podcast. Anyways, I do think there obviously are a ton of parallels with the Green Lantern origin, but the way that they paced the movie made it not feel as similar in the moment, definitely to me. But then I sent that meme to the group chat that was like, and it just lists out the entire thing. It's like, it's a Green Lantern movie. I was like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
And she's even wearing the goddamn green suit. I don't care. Just give me a Green Lantern movie. But yeah, I thought that was very cool that they did bring in elements of the original origin
story
and put in some new stuff, and I thought it did work well.
Since you brought up the suit, what'd you think about the suit?
Thought it looked great at most points, especially when it was red and blue.
I think
obviously,
when we get the Captain Marvel color scheme, I think that's where it shines
for sure. We get a different one in the post credits, slightly different. It's just like more. It looks deeper colors and just a little bit more shiny.
I don't think it's the same suit.
I don't think it is either.
For the love of God, I hope it's that suit.
Yeah,
that's the okay. Like, just from talking, like the more I look at the suit, and I'm just like, damn, they need to get rid of that bulkiness of that suit. I'm like, they need to go with the sash and just the skin tight suit with her.
Hollywood won't do that anymore. They're not gonna. That's not gonna. And which is, I mean, I actually think it works perfectly for translating what that is to the screen. But I think it's gonna look even better.
I mean, like do something with like the way Black Widow. Black Widow. Yeah. Like, Black Widow's suit is, like, skin tight. It's not, like, armor.
No, I think it looked like she had more kind of plated armor in the
her
Endgame
boobs don't
stuff.
have to be fucking huge. Like, that's not the point. Like, but, like...
No, I get what you're saying. I think they are going to go with something more close to that in Endgame, and I'm actually very interested to see what her costume is going to look.
Yeah, I want it to be, like not as eccentric and just plain. And, like, see
like,
if
it's just the plain colors. I get what
see if they can pull it off. Like, because, like... Everyone is pretty, like, jazzed up. Nobody really looks
especially plain. In Endgame, everyone's really sporting from what we've seen of the art, their comic book accurate costumes for the most part. I mean, you got Cap with the chainmail.
I mean, Thor is so far away from his.
That's tough to...
It always has been.
That I would be interested to see.
But they have, I think Thor 1, well, like, his costume looks good, but, like,
They've gone away from that a little bit. Yeah, I think there obviously are still your similar elements, but
Iron Man's gonna go there. But yeah, I just think like a less detailed, more simple, plain suit for Captain Marvel would be really cool and comic book accurate.
I think that doesn't work. We've learned with these matte suits that I just don't think they work all the time.
Well, like, look at Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's works, but like you still have, it's not matte. You have that texture to it. You need a bit of texture.
I mean, it can have texture.
No. I get what you're saying, and that's the thing. And I think they can do it, but like I don't want them to go to something like, and they won't, like your Superman Returns, like where it's just that matte blue and there's zero textures on it, and then you got which we won't return to, I don't think. But I think they could do something more comic accurate, but still contemporary looking.
Yeah.
Like what they were going for. But yeah, I agree. How did you feel about her full power-up scene?
When she goes full binary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
It's with the helmet. The helmet sells.
Oh, dude, the helmet looks... That's the one thing. I do think they nailed that helmet. That's why I think that the costume works with the helmet. I do think they're running into this issue of... the Superman issue, honestly. If you're introducing this character that's so powerful that... And how are you supposed to raise the stakes?
Think about her in Endgame. Like, how powerful is Captain Marvel going to be?
Like, she has the power of the Tesseract, apparently. And for all its flaws, I do love the scene in Justice League for one reason, but don't like it for another. Like, it's that same issue. You have all these heroes going up against this super powerful being. They can't do anything. That's not how it should be. Like, the Justice League should have a chance of taking down Superman when they're all together. But I can bar that as their new Justice League. With this, I just don't know how you can balance out someone with her powers in her next movie.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, I guess we don't get, like, full binary. Like, in the comics, it's pretty, like, grand and
I think it was just
eccentric
full
the way
power.
she looks.
Yeah.
Like she does look full powered up, but like, are they gonna
But
go
it's
with
Captain
her hair
Marvel,
is
yeah.
like fucking like a star?
And she doesn't usually go like.
And then like like she's glowing, like her skin
Yeah.
changes color. Like, are they gonna go that level because she's obviously like learned to use her powers at this point in Endgame? I mean,
and again, we get to that trope where she just decides that she's full powered, so she is.
Yeah. I do like that scene where
I think
she's
it's good
getting
too.
up in different scenes. That's
For
a
sure.
fucking really
I
cool
agree.
scene.
But it's just, you got to think about the next thing to come. Because, like I said, you introduce someone this powerful, you need someone to balance that out. And I don't necessarily think they can't do that because I think her next movie has to be totally cosmic. I'd actually love to see her next movie as what she's doing in that 20-year span of what's going on. Because
I don't think you're going to see that.
I don't want to see her on Earth. Who is she going to fight on Earth that I care about?
You're going to tee up Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel.
But that's not an enemy of her.
I know, but like I don't know who they're going to go against.
I don't think that works with her on Earth. Because she's too powerful. How do you make that stake interesting?
I don't know.
So that's what I'm curious. They got a task ahead of them. I hope they do it. I'd like this first movie, but where do you go with this character after this movie is what I'm actually kind of after Endgame.
No,
is what I'm curious about.
I hear you.
So, yeah, I mean, and then we find out the Skrulls are obviously are on Marvel's space station that was out in orbit, invisible. Carol's like, all right, we're going to take these people across the galaxy. I guess the Kree are still doing their thing, obviously, for the next 20 years because the Guardians deal with them. I just... What has she been... I do want to know what she's been doing for those 20 years. I
assume just fighting the Kree Skrull War.
But why hasn't she ended it by the time you get to fucking... Or not even... Because she said, I'm ending it. I assume that means she's going back to the Central Intelligence and destroying it. After but obviously that's what I'm saying. She doesn't. So what the fuck has she been doing? What's going on, Gooch? I want to know, man.
I don't know.
No,
maybe we'll find out.
There's a lot of questions I have, and yeah, I think you're probably right. Probably a lot will be answered in Endgame.
Or maybe it won't. I don't know.
I don't. I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything else.
We're gonna get to Goose.
Yeah, we gotta get to Goose and Fury.
So this movie is set in the 90s, 95 year I was born.
Same. A good year.
It doesn't go too 90s, and I like it. I think in the beginning we get like the blockbuster, like in the trailer, and like there's a few like 90s references.
I think there's a few,
but it's not like hitting you over the head.
Like, hey,
90s.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think it does it good. One thing I don't like those music cues.
I was literally about to say that. I did think they were very like out of nowhere and just like oh, we're going here now. Like that, yeah. They're like, all right, we need to use these 90s songs.
Like, why? No doubt. Like, okay, like I get it, but like, I don't know. It doesn't really.
One or two of them work.
Like that's not her character. That's Star-Lord. Star-Lord would be like.
And I don't know. They've kind of, well, at least in the movie for me, they've set her up to be that character.
But like, you understand like why you get all those 80s songs in Guardians, because Star-Lord is from the 80s and he listens to this awesome mix like all the time. Like you get like that's part of his character why you're hearing those songs.
Yeah.
For Captain Marvel, it's just the fact that it takes place during the 90s, and they're also like songs that women are singing, and this is for. Like, I don't know how fucking it took this long to get a female superhero for Marvel. I don't think it makes any sense how it took this long.
Well, but I kind of... Not because it's even the female, it's just... Captain Marvel's probably the most notable female character from Marvel right now, would you say, right? Or is there anything else that's more... I mean...
That aren't X-Men?
Like, that's what I'm trying to think. Yeah. I really think... I mean, even besides, like, your Black Widow... And you
Scarlet Witch and she's
Iron Man, I don't know why that worked starting off. I don't think this would have necessarily worked.
I'm just surprised it took them this long to do a female. Like, I'm just saying.
No,
like, it's funny because like
even like a Black Widow,
DC just did it like before them.
Wonder Woman, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that we should need to even compare them, but what did you think between them? What's your pick?
Wonder Woman.
I love the first two acts of Wonder Woman so much. But that really kills me when I get to that third act of just the smoke and brimstone fight with Ares.
I feel like it's Wonder Woman. I don't know. I don't know.
I agree. Listen, I do love. There are a lot of very overt messages about when she's doing her flashbacks and they're like, they call it the cockpit for a reason, and they're all over, and I'm like, I was kind of like, oh, it's probably, I don't know. What is that like? But then I was like, oh, this is in the 90s. Guys were probably total jerk-offs to girls trying to get into, the fucking Air Force or something back then. I don't know. I felt like Captain Marvel was trying to push another message a little bit more than Wonder Woman, which was just felt like a straight superhero movie to me.
I know what you're saying. I don't think I like.
It didn't like overpower it or anything at all. I just felt like I noticed.
I don't think the like I don't. I'm trying. What do I want to call this?
No, I know. Feminism? I don't. Yeah, I don't.
I don't want to say like Me Too.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get into like buzzwords here. It's just.
No, like I get like it's trying to do that, and it should in a way, but like it's not like by any means like overpowering the point of the movie.
I agree.
Which is fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of anything else. We missed it. So we got the Tesseract. I'm confused. How did the Tesseract get in her? Did the government just have it back then?
After Cap crashed,
and then they were just kind of testing on it for those. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Project Pegasus is that Avengers facility in Avengers.
Oh. Interessante.
I'm trying to think of anything else in the movie. We talked about Marvel, the Kree-Skrull War. I mean, let's just talk about the ending. That fight with Yon-Rogg. What a Marvel fucking move. I thought, what if they, like, when Yon-Rogg's like, fuck the powers, like, let's fight. And I was just like, yeah. I was like, let's do it. And then she just blasted him.
See, I love that. I was like, that makes total sense. Why would you fight him?
Because it would have been cool!
But that's not a reason in the actual, like, for us maybe, but for her, I'd be like, fuck out of here. Are you kidding? I totally agree with that.
I don't know. I thought it would have been cool to see her, like, really get down and dirty.
That's fair, but I mean, I thought we got some really cool just hand-to-hand between them at the beginning. And I thought that was enough. I didn't need to see it again. But I get what you're saying. Goose?
Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson, their chemistry was really good.
Really good. Yeah,
I think they did a really good job together. And
they were fast friends, and you
could
tell.
You see that offset and like with their interviews and stuff they've done, but yeah, like they did a good job.
I agree. So,
fucking Goose.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say about this scene.
I mean, Goose is fine. It's just one point at the end.
So there's one. We find out how Nick Fury loses his eye, and there are two things here. I hate it, and I love it. Because one, I hate
stupid.
Can you let me talk instead of saying stupid?
Stupid. Just go ahead.
One, I really like it because it totally subverts the expectation that we were going to get this big, huge thing that Nick was going to get his eye ripped out or whatever. And I think that works because I was like, oh, that's funny. I actually enjoyed that. But at the same time, it goes back and sort of ruins Winter Soldier for me because he talks that whole line. He's like, last time I trust someone, I lost an eye. And that's a very serious moment in that movie.
And, like, his wound on his eye is, like, pretty serious. Like, it looks like okay, so, like, yeah, Goose claws his eye out, but, like, it looks
it doesn't, like... Well, it doesn't claw... It, like, claws down his eye, I think. I don't think it actually...
But, like, you see the scars in Avengers and in Winter Soldier, like, they're pretty serious. Like, it looks pretty messed up.
It kind of... Yeah.
And his eye gets clawed out by a fucking alien cat thing. Really? You're gonna, like... It just, like, totally... Like, I get it. It's funny. And, like... Not that I don't get it. It's funny. And, like, the fact that he plays...
Kind of subverts the... Yeah.
He, like, plays it up as, like, the serious injury and Coulson's at the end. He's like, wow, I heard you, like, this, like,
Skrull ripped your eye out or something. Yeah.
He's like, we'll go with that. And I'm just like... Really just, like, makes, like, just, like, lessens, like, the moment. Because, like, his eye is, like... It's just, I feel like, very important to his character.
I think it does take... I agree. I really do think if they didn't have that line in Winter Soldier, I think you'd feel... At least I think you'd feel totally different about it. Or I definitely would, anyways. But again, it's a double-sided...
I wanted to see, like, he trusted Captain Marvel and he lost an eye
because of that. Or even just someone in general. Yeah.
Like, I wonder what the fuck the meeting was behind that. Let's retcon... Fury? Like, because
I don't even know if it's necessarily... I don't know if you can technically consider it a retcon. But,
I mean...
He says I lost an eye, but he did.
Fury's a joker, but I don't think he'd lie about something like that.
I agree. I do think it does take away from that scene. I don't know what else to say. But it worked for me in that moment, and that's why I half give it a pass, but half am annoyed.
When the movie finished and like we were like before the Endgame scene, like I turned to Nick and Casey and I'm like, I cannot fucking believe that's how Fury lost his eye. I'm like, I was so upset. I was like, this is so dumb.
It's funny.
And they were alluding to it, and I'm just like, you fuckers. I was like, do not do that. And then they did it. And I'm just like, Why? It's so lame. It's lame. It's so stupid.
It didn't bug me that much in the moment, but
because like it doesn't give it like it could have added another layer of tension or character building between Nick Fury and Carol Danvers, and it doesn't.
See, I assumed it was gonna be because of one of the Skrulls or something, like because he thought like because of Talos maybe or something. But yeah, it didn't end up. Yeah, I agree.
Lame.
Again, it works for me in this movie. It does not work for me in the greater scheme of the Marvel universe. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, and then we get our end game scene, which is definitely just a scene ripped from the movie.
Literally, yeah. It's Captain Marvel just showing up.
Yeah, older, different,
wiser.
We'll see. And then the post credit scene is Goose throwing up the Tesseract, which I thought was kind of funny that he eats it. And
I thought that was
eats some of those people. Like,
well, what's funny? So Carol can, I guess, she was touching it. I was like, how is she touching it? But then it makes sense because she was fused with its power, and I do love that. Fury's like, I'm not fucking touching that thing, the Tesseract, and then she just eats it. Yeah, I did like Goose. I don't know. Otherwise,
lastly, well, I guess the last thing, the Stan Lee tribute.
Oh, that was awesome at the beginning.
I started clapping my theater.
No, it was really.
I was just like,
that was really.
And Casey's like, don't do it. I just started clapping.
There were some people that clapped in my theater.
Yeah,
it was good.
That
it really
was.
Cool.
And then his cameo must have been filmed after he died because he had no speak. Like there was a speaking line, but I feel like they could have just pulled it from something.
It looked like it was the CGI type of like face on someone thing to me. I could be wrong. It might have been him.
It could,
but he was reading Mallrats too. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Yeah. I did. She did kind of.
I didn't catch
break
that
the scene
when I first watched it.
Yeah.
I was like, Mallrats. Like I saw Kevin Smith's post.
Like when she looks at him and she gives a smile. I was like, that would not be okay unless he just did pass, and it did, and it was awesome. I really did. Yeah. I did love that. I thought it was good.
Awesome. One thing that I don't really like, I don't understand why, like, I guess Vers. Yeah. Is it Vers?
Yeah, it's Vers, because they get that last half of her dog tag.
No, it's Veers.
Or yeah, they say Veers, but it's,
Yeah. She, like, I don't understand. Okay, they know about C-35 is...
C-55, 35, something like that.
Yeah, like Terran Earth.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they know that they don't know about intergalactic stuff? Why does she assume that they do? Like, it makes no sense.
I don't think she knows about any... She doesn't know about C-55. She just shows up, and she's just... I think she just shows up on any... They don't care. They're not trying to hide themselves from if they're brought to you for the Kree Skull War, they aren't going to give a fuck. I didn't think...
See, like, I was like, but, like, she keeps acting like they should know.
Maybe she thinks that everyone does know. That's the thing, you just don't know.
It's kind of an odd, it's just like, Kree Star Force, like, and then she's on the phone. Like, I understand, like, at the beginning with Fury, but, like, she kind of keeps that, like, persona up that, like, she's this, like, intergalactic, like, peacekeeping force, which
I just saw it as
like this tactical squad from the Kree, and it's just like nobody knows what you're talking about. Like I don't think you like get that. Like when are you gonna understand that?
I mean, I think
it was just kind of weird. Like I looked at it back, I was like, why does she keep that up? Like she doesn't really try to hide. Well, she does hide, but like I don't know. She's very like doesn't give a shit.
Well, she even I don't know because she doesn't. It's not like she is trying to protect her identity or anything. She doesn't get. She's just a Kree soldier. I don't know. I didn't think that was very... And that's where I kind of did get those... Like, they were talking about how, like, RoboCop inspired this and all that. I did kind of... Like, her mannerisms, she smiled a lot, and she was more emotional... Not emotional. She was more happy. Lively. Yes, thank you. When she was with them. But, yeah, I don't know. It worked fine for me. I didn't really think
I just thought it was odd.
Yeah, fair enough. Anything else? I'm trying to think if we missed anything.
I don't think so. I think we hit pretty much everything. When she gets to the suit color, you like the Marvel reference with the last one before she gets her colors. That's Marvel's original.
Was that okay? I missed it.
The green and the white. Also, the lighting for that scene is fucking terrible.
Well, it's at night. And they're only showing you like half of.
I'm like, I can't barely see these suit colors. I was like, let's go inside. Like, what the fuck?
That's funny. I didn't notice the Marvel original.
And I was just like. I'm sitting up. I'm like, why is this scene so dark?
It's not a good lit. Yeah.
Yeah, like also some scenes are cut really strangely. I don't know if you.
I didn't notice anything like that.
Some of the fight scenes were jankily like cut. Like I was just like, whoa. Like
it just felt like besides
these
the Brewster
shots
brothers
are like all over the place. Some scenes, not all of them.
No. Yeah,
there's a scene in the bus that was like that. when they were fighting the old lady.
I thought that was a pretty funny scene. I don't know. I didn't notice anything.
Funny.
No, I didn't notice any.
The cut of the footage was
nothing really stood out to me. I'll be honest, but
yeah,
I'd be interested to go back and try
the suit scene. I was like, that's the shit I like, and I'm just like, can fully bright? Like, I just want to see everything.
I thought it was interesting how she could just. I liked the Kree technology, the way it worked, how she had her thing
like
on.
Wearable.
Yeah, and like even the way that she could commune with the Central Intelligence or whatever, the way it would like wrap up around her and go in her temples and stuff. I thought it was interesting design. I'm trying to think. Talos, Kree.
I think we kind of hit everything.
I think we did. I mean, if you're a Marvel fan, yeah, go see this movie. I think it's a fun time.
Yeah.
There's been all this bullshit just going on. Like, I don't.
What, the Rotten Tomato score?
The Rotten Tomato and everything. It's just like, guys, just go watch a movie. Who cares? It's a fucking superhero movie. It's fun. And I enjoyed it. Could it have been better? Sure. But it, like I said, it feels like another kind of cookie cutter Marvel movie to me. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
I think once we get to Endgame, like, we're going to review that, probably for the May, even though it comes out in April.
Yep.
I think that's where, like, we seriously, like, once Spider-Man, Far From Home is done, I think that's where, like, the serious discussion is going to be, like, we don't know what Marvel's doing next, and I think they really need to, like, step up their game. They can't really, I really just, like, this movie, like, I liked it, but, like, I came out of it and I'm like, am I getting fatigued?
I was just like, there wasn't anything
I feel like
like
the superhero
crazy
fatigue is happening. Like, I just feel like, yeah, we've seen this before. A lot.
I don't even know if it's a superhero fatigue. I think it's a Marvel fatigue. Because I didn't feel this, at least I didn't feel this way coming out of Aquaman at all. I felt like that was very different and very cool and we explored some new stuff that I'd never seen on screen before.
If Marvel took a year off, I wouldn't mind it at all. Because then you'd want it.
Well, I mean, we are getting into stuff like they're talking about doing the Eternals and stuff like that. So that could get different. And I do want them...
Yeah. I mean, that's weird. Eternals is weird. Like, it's a weird choice. So is Inhumans.
Yeah. But I still would have loved to actually see the movie version of that. But that's a whole nother story. Yeah, I do think we need to see something a little bit more of a change-up. I don't know what exactly I want them to do.
Something needs to happen. Yeah.
But I would like to see some type of... Like, Infinity War was, like, that was such an event film, and, like, it was like other Marvel movies, but it wasn't in a lot of other ways, too. I do want that to be brought to more of their solo movies and stuff like that. And even, like, I do think they've done that with certain movies. Like, I love Doctor Strange, and I love the more out there stuff, but... Again, where are we going with Carol after this? Like, I really...
Yeah, like...
That really concerns me.
Like, I guess we know we're going to get a Black Panther 2. We know we're going to get a Doctor Strange 2.
We know we're getting Spider-Man, obviously.
Yeah, another
Guardians
Spider-Man.
3.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pushed back, but they are apparently still doing that with gun scripts.
It's just a question of, like, are they willing to fucking just, like, really go all out? Like, was Black Panther a risk? Not really. I feel like that movie worked, and it worked on paper as well. Like, what is really going to be Marvel's next project? It's like, wow, they've never done anything like this. Maybe Doctor Strange was kind of like that. It's just like I am after Endgame, I'm gonna be worried because I just don't.
I'm not even worried. I'm just. I
feel
curious.
like if we continue to crank this out, and we're not gonna get a fucking Avengers movie for a long time. We got 2 in a year.
Probably 5 years at least.
Yeah. Like, if we get...
5 years.
Which I assume the next one will be New Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't think this is, we're in the deep... It was a fine movie. It was a good movie. I do want to see a more of a change-up. If we keep going to the more samey stuff, that'll concern me. But right now, I'm not that concerned.
Yeah, and who are we going to introduce that we don't we officially
I mean, now obviously they're getting the X-Men back and the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious how that's going to... I don't know. Sorry. Excuse me. I was I had it. I lost it. I had it.
Yeah, again, X-Men and Fantastic Four, how they're going to fit into, are we going to do an X-Men versus Avengers? Is that going to happen?
I think that can really spice things up, but again, how do we introduce
Super Skrull, we can do Galactus, we can do Doctor Doom, a huge Avengers villain. I think them being brought in, does open a lot of doors, but, still, what does that mean? Are we still going to get Marvel cookie-cutter movies?
Yeah, and I hope not. And I think this is really the first not even. I'm trying to. So what came? This it was Infinity War before that.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Again, I do felt like that was in this kind of same vein as this. I actually think I had a bit more fun with Ant-Man and the Wasp at some point.
Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp was a bit more fun.
And even I think
I wouldn't say Captain Marvel was really.
Sorry.
No, I wouldn't say Ant-Man and the Wasp was like fun.
And Ant-Man and the Wasp was. You wouldn't say was?
Oh no, sorry. Captain Marvel wasn't really fun. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp was fun.
It was fun at some points, but for
like when he's running around.
Oh, dude, I was watching that scene the other day. It is amazing. I love it. They're like, all right, well, we made him gigantic. We made him super small. What else can we do?
Because like Captain Marvel, I don't think it's supposed to be funny at all. You know?
Yeah, see, I don't know, to be honest.
I think well, no, not even just from the source material, but like what's funny is the interactions between Fury and Carol. Not necessarily like
that they're funny.
On.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I don't know.
But also that feeds into the fact that like she wasn't supposed to be emotional, but she is emotional, and I think that works. Like the humor, but like it wasn't like fun. I don't know.
She's supposed to like because
what is fun? SpongeBob.
I got the idea. Like it was like I said, the Kree are supposed to be this emotion, not emotionless, but very focused. Not let your feelings get in the way of anything. And her human side did still peek through on that, and I guess that worked for me. But they did. You're right. They set it up in a weird way in the trailers. I don't know.
All right, we're talking in circles.
We are, and again,
but that's fine.
That's that. I think if you're a Marvel fan, go see the movie. Like I said, I enjoyed it. Gooch, any closing arguments? Not arguments. Thoughts?
No.
Well.
Nope.
Thank you all so much for watching our Captain Marvel review. We really appreciate it. You can find us on our socials. At Delco Nerds on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook page, facebook.com/Delco Nerd Network. We're on podcast services, Google Play, iTunes. We really appreciate any reviews you throw up there. It makes our visibility go up, all those good buzzwords. YouTube.com, search Delco Nerd Network. We're on there. All of our videos and such. Our website, www.Delco Nerd Network. We just put up a whatever letter, Gooch's long-awaited Batman v Superman script.
Oh, yeah.
It's up.
Let me plug my video essay for Batman v Superman. So on my personal channel I did essentially a video essay arguing Batman v Superman titled
Do we need a Batman?
Wait, wow.
Does there need to be a...
Jesus Christ, I forgot the title. Must there be a Batman v Superman? Holy shit.
What are you doing? What is happening?
Yeah, so the title is Must There Be a Batman v Superman? You know, the title is essentially the question.
Go check it out. You can read the script on our whatever letters.
Yeah, so the script is a whatever letter and it's transcribed, but the movie or the video is the script. So watch them, read them, do what you want.
Yeah. Did I miss anything? I'm trying to think. I don't think I did.
No.
Thank you all so much for watching on Twitch Live. We really do appreciate it. For Gooch, I've been Trio. We'll see you next time. Stay nerdy, guys.